Hello there, Kyle Massa with you here with Wildcard MTG. Today we're going to be doing something a little different because, like a wild card, you never know what you're going to get. So today we are doing a draft video on Magic Arena with everybody's favorite format, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So I've been having a blast with this format. Honestly, I was not expecting much coming in, as the same can be said for many people. But it's been a lot of fun. I mean, it's honestly way better than I think everyone was dreading another Spider-Man, but this set has been way better than that. It's actually, there are some fun build arounds. The gameplay is excellent. And there are just a lot of like fun, interesting, unique individual designs as well. So overall, I've just loved it. So let's go. Okay, so this is actually a really good pack. So we actually have two rares. The first is Raphael, who can actually just like win you the game if you sneak him in at the right time with the double strike. Weathermaker is, kind of the best manolith I think they've ever made. Um, that's obviously really good. This is excellent in the black-white sneak deck, which might be the best deck in the format. These nunchucks are actually really excellent in any green deck, really. This also goes in black-white sneak, but it's obviously gold, so a little more narrow, and then a bunch of more or less filler commons. So I feel like Raphael might have the most upside, but Weathermaker goes in pretty much any deck and is actually really good. Like, if you get that with, ooh, with, any sort of, like, I think that there's, Evolving Wilds is in, or no, I'm sorry, it's the Evolving Wilds that gives you, creature power 2 or less unblockable, whatever the heck that's called, Secret Tunnel or something. So that's two counters right there. And then it's, a free bolt at 3. So it's pretty excellent. Definitely going to follow it up with Raph and Mikey. I always read this as Ralph, like Ralph and Mickey, but incorrect, of course. So, I mean, we're definitely doing that. Like, this ramps us into this. This, can just slap people off the top of the deck with some other wild bomb. And it's pretty versatile. It's red or green. Um, Cool but rude is really hard to build around, so you often see it wheel. um, we could go with the surveillance cam if we do like maybe the blue-red artifact life. I think it's better than the technique. Um, hmm. And I'm not really considering any of these other cards. Um, so yeah, I think we'll go with that. This card is actually way better than it looks. It like untaps a blocker, taps an attacker, obviously draws you cards. So here's that escape tunnel. Could take that. Mouser Foundry. This would of course go with Cool But Rude. This is basically the card that you want to draft a ton of if you do Cool But Rude. I'm kind of interested in fixing this early in the draft. Plus, it's extra good with Weathermaker. So, we could get my favorite card in the format is Everything Pizza. So we could go for that. Mouser Foundry is like way better, but that feels like we'd be kind of hard committing to the artifact thing. So I'm willing to take a bit of a hit in power level to do that. And now we see Ninja Cavalry is nice. Old Hob from Cats is actually pretty cool because with the 2/2, it's not sacrificing, it's destroying. So if you give it indestructible, you just keep the 2/2. And there is also Turtles Forever, which is sort of like a riff on what the heck's it called? Gifts Ungiven, but for Legends. I've played that before. Ragamuffin Raptor is kind of interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Let's kind of hedge toward the artifact thing, even though we didn't want to like totally do it before. Let's try. This card I normally don't like, but it does ramp, gives us lands 5 and 6, and then if you play another, you've got Raph and Mikey right away. So that's kind of interesting, and it also opens us up to the, 5-color nonsense thing. But Tenderize, I think, is just a nice removal spell. Again, we're a little sloppy with our mana right now, but I feel like nothing has seemed like super obvious or open. So let's try for that. Okay, now a lot of blue and green cards. So I think that Buzzbots is pretty good card, just very annoying for any X1 because you can just attack and not care about blocking. So I think I'll take that. This does put us maybe more toward the artifact life. And here, so the Butler's kind of almost essential in the 5-color deck. There is the treats, but that's kind of more of a payoff for being 5 colors. So that is interesting to see it that late. I'm a little, it feels like red, white is being cut and maybe blue, green is open and maybe Sultai colors. Generally, I think you want to go with the card that lets you play more colors over the card that requires the colors, at least at first. So let's do that. We could take this mediocre removal spell. It's obviously not very efficient, but you need removal. This, I don't think we have the requisite number, and I feel like I've like never gotten there. So let's just take this in case we go blue-red artifacts. Probably not playing any of these. This thing can kind of steal a game, so sure, but... Oh, and Mouser Fountain. This card is kind of excellent. So ideally you want nobody with that one, because then you're making double the 1/1s. And now we do get a pretty nice artifact removal spell. So I feel like this is good because I feel like we're kind of towing the line between blue-red artifacts and what's the other deck? The 5-color pizza deck, which is my favorite deck. But blue-red artifacts is a decent consolation prize. Decent other cards in here. This wheel, because it's a May, I feel like it's way worse than it looks. And 6 mana to cast it is kind of terrible. So this is another card that goes great with nobody. So we really want that. And now, we're not anywhere close to these colors, but this card's kind of outrageous. At base, it's Banisher Priest, and there's another Tainted Treats, like maybe that wheels. This Turtle Blimp is way better than it looks. But I think that the Kunoichi is kind of worth it. And look, we've got some decent fixing. That's one of the upsides for being 5-color. So let's do that. And now we could get more fixing. We could get another pizza or the general. All right, if we do the general, we're kind of committing to blue-red artifacts. The pizza is a little more open, but obviously because it deals 3 to you, it's a little less good in multiples. So I like the general. I think, imagine Raph and Mikey, we hit this, and I think we've got enough artifacts to make it work, right? We've got 7 plus, I think, a couple cards that make artifacts. So yeah, I feel like we are base. I don't know. We'll figure out what our base is later. I think this is between Blimp or Manhole Missile. As I said, Blimp is way better than it looks, and we've got decent low ends. Also, Weathermaker ramps right into it, so I think I'm okay with that. Oh my word. A very, very late pizza. It's funny too, because this is the only pizza in the set that actually looks appetizing, aside from the rat chowing down in the background. And I think those might be jelly beans on jelly bean and mushroom pizza, which is disgusting, but you know, it's better than the other nonsense that they've got in the set. Okay, all will be one. Counters, yeah, whatever. I think just tainted treats, and you know, we're definitely 5 color, so our mana's a little sketch. There is a nobody. I just noticed that. That's a tough call. I think I am going to go with that. I think that we've got some good removal. This card is kind of excellent with Mouser Foundry, Surveillance Cam. Like maybe we exile a token with this, bring it back. All right, so it feels like red is open, and the green would help us fix, but red-green would be kind of a weird base to be in this set. Since it's not really supported, we'll definitely slam another Mouser Foundry. So we're in kind of a weird spot. I'm thinking between Kitty and Commando. I mean, blue hasn't felt super open, quite honestly. This might be the wrong thing to do, but okay. Wow. We could take more fixing again, but we do have pizza now. We do have butler now. I think we can get away with playing some really excellent removal here. Here's another missile. So I think we might end up being base red-green. How does it sound? Yeah, I mean, this will help the everything pizza plan if we do end up that. Okay. Wow, interesting. So there's a second weather maker, which is obviously great for fixing purposes and just as a card. But there's also the courier, which is awesome because it can get everything pizza, which is probably the best card in our deck. Could also get like Ice Cream Kitty. If we pick up the black food, it could get that too, although we're unlikely to play that anyway. So it's between those two. I mean, usually you don't want multiple manaliths, but I kind of think that this one would be fine, especially because we need fixing and it can turn into removal later. So this deck has gotten very interesting, and I think we'll follow it up with the party planners. I mean, I don't think we have that many mutants or ninjas. 3, 0 ninjas apparently, 1 turtle, and those are probably, yeah, these are, so we really don't have many, but I'm not seeing a whole lot else we would want, especially if we're going to be base. I mean, maybe we play this for the blue, but I don't think that we have a whole lot of, well, we do have 13 artifacts. I'm going to go with these guys. I think just as with the Ward 2 and occasionally just spiking this, like, I think it's a pretty decent card. All right, we're not playing Cowabunga. We know that we don't have enough I've never had enough turtles for this card, and trust me, I have tried. I think we'll just keep taking the Mouser Foundries. All right, so here we could get the pizza. Oh, I forgot that the comestibles could have gotten this too. I think we're less likely to want second spicy. We could want a second nobody, especially with 3 Mousers, but it's kind of tough to beat the fixing, especially that's kind of the point, the whole point of our deck is 5 color. And I think one of our base colors is going to end up being red. In fact, I think that that was the most open color the whole time. All right, so now that we have one off color, one white source, I don't think we want a second. We could take a third manhole missile just to deal with any aggressive decks. I think it's that or the pachyderm. How many creatures do we have? 9 plus 3 from the foundry. I think manhole missile's good. I don't really know. Wow, just all the spices. So with 2 weather makers, that makes me a little more interested in 5s because we can ramp straight in. which is making me think of this. I don't think we're considering this. And we already have a lot of removal. And only one nobody to pull that spicy back. So, alright. This is kind of more top end than I would like, but I think we can get away with it. And I think Kitty seems fine. Alright, Ragamuffin Raptor, I do like seeing. I think we're going to take the land just to get the off color, because that would be our 4th 5. And this, like, somebody looped these two together against me in the qualifier, and I had never seen that before, and that was like, oh my word. Wow, what a gift. This card's incredible. I am shocked that it wheeled, but we'll take that, and I think we'll take, you know, another option to go search for. Can we pull the, we're going pretty wide, so I don't think, I don't think we're playing any of these. Yeah. At this point, I think that's, the ramp doesn't matter because we've already got that slot filled with the 2 weather makers. So this deck is really cool. I mean, I love me my Wooburg pizza. Okay, sorry, we're back. Doggy was going for a walk. Okay, so I think that since we're kind of splashing blue here, whoops, my sound's on. I think that we can cut those are both good cards, but blue is an off color at this point, so I think we can safely cut those. Next, so we need 4 cuts. What else? What else? I think we are pretty creature light, so these we can count as creatures and this we can count as creatures, so we're really +5. So we really have 16 creatures, so we could probably cut 1. Maybe like Rocksteady is just, you know, kind of a decent big dope, but nothing special. I kind of like this to be able to search up with the courier, but how many foods do we have? Artifact. We have 5 food, so we have like, this is going to be our primary search. We can also search up this, and I think 2 cats, yeah. So, yeah, we probably don't need that so much. Tenderize, I think, is really good, especially with the Frog Butler. We do generally have small-ish creatures, but, like, General's big. Blimp is probably big enough. Yeah, you know what? That said, though, we do have 3 Manhole Missiles, so that's probably, in this deck, killing much of the same creatures that the Tenderize is, outside of a few specific instances. So let's do that. And maybe we cut something else on the lower end here. I think if we can, we want to keep any mutants. And Ice Cream Kitty, yeah, is a mutant. This is also a ninja. This can play ninjas. So we kind of got there on this a little. So maybe it's just a Manhole Missile. Then we still have Tainted Treats. We still have Bot Bashing. Yeah, because I think these are going to have diminishing returns. Like, how many X3s do you need to kill in a game? All right, so let's do that. I mean, probably more than I'm giving credit, but... All right, let's add a single island. Where's my island? Is that going in? Am I just not seeing it? No, it's just not going in. Ah, okay. Didn't know you could do that. There was a glitch where if you press this, it would, like, break the game, so I'm trying not to. Okay. So I think now we have 18 lands, so what if we go here? That gives us 5, 6, 7, 8 red sources, and 5, 6, 7 green. Plus the pizza helps, plus the weather maker helps. 3 of each of the other colors. I think that's okay. Yeah, all right. This is my favorite archetype, Wooburg Za. All right, we are ready. Let's get into the games. Okay, match 1 here. We are playing against Anurid, aka Elderly Jaya. Okay, that hand seems excellent. I mean, we've got 2 fixing pieces. We can go search up our everything pizza. And I think we will do that. You know, we just want to make sure we're continuing to hit our land drops. So part of the thing I like about this format is that with such a small card pool, when an opponent has a stop, you kind of know right away what they have. Like, I'm putting them on Manhole Missile right now. Pizza. I guess we could have considered Frog Butler turn 2, because that would let us double spell on turn 3, but again, it seems pretty likely that they have Manhole Missile. Alright, this card's, I feel like, reads better than it actually is. So I think that we will just go, let's just go Weathermaker, and, you know, I mean, maybe we take 4, like, fine. Oh, that's annoying. Yeah, well, joke's on you. You get a free white mana out of the deal. So that's a major bummer. And now we're actually under legitimate pressure. So, yeah, I think we are just going to take that. No blocks. And take it again. Because, you know, I think we do want to threaten a double block. Again, they probably have a way to break that up. But let's see. What we can do, how about we go pizza, search for mountain, play mountain. We now almost have the full effect. And I'm just going to do this now while they're tapped out, because otherwise we're taking a load of damage. And we don't really need the tap land anymore. So I'm going to bin that. Yeah, because we kind of want untapped lands at this point. And I'm not going to attack. You know, 1 damage does not matter right now. Oh my word. And I'm probably not going to block either, honestly. But I would rather have the option in case they do something wacky. And the annoying part here, plus we do want to keep a creature around when we crack this, and the annoying part here is that a lot of our stuff deals 3, and these obviously are all 4 toughness. So let's play our lands, and I think we could go this plus, yeah, that doesn't work, so... And we also have to be careful with playing the lands with the Weathermaker, because we obviously want counters on that. So I think that we have to kill something here. So it's either Raph and Leo or Neutrinos. Gets +1/+0 attacks. Exile up to 1 creature you control. Is that more dangerous? I think that... Yeah, I think we're going to get rid of that because Frog Butler at least threatens a block on the ground. And again, I think that they probably have a Manhole Missile, but, you know, at least we're forcing them to use it. I wonder... Yeah, they've just got stuff. Come on! This card is so bogus. Alright, we probably lose now. Alright, so can we go down to 6? I do have an answer for Mutanimals. Next turn, if we draw land, we could go like Weathermaker, Butler, and Manhole Missile. And the Courier... What is it? I guess it could block something else. I think I'm just going to take it. Alex Unlimited Level Up said on a recent episode, which I thought was quite wise, he said you can always chump block later, which I think he got from somebody else and acknowledged that, but I think it's good advice, honestly. Alright, so let's play this. Let's get our charge counter. Let's play... Butler. And I think I'm just going to manhole now. Again, so they can't do anything super annoying. And I'm going to put this away because I think at this point we need something a little better than just a pair of chump blockers. So if they have 2 removal spells, we are just dead. No, actually, no. Yeah, we're dead, right? Because if they kill Frog Butler... okay, that is also bad. Yeah, because they can attack again. So if we block like this, go down to 4, they attack again, and we're dead. Bummer! Alright, they just had a blisteringly fast deck, so let's hope that we can redeem ourselves in the next rounds. Okay, game 2 here against a mouse with a fiery sword. Immediate mulligan. Okay, this is interesting. This is the downside of playing a deck like this, because this hand has a lot of colors, and we can cast our spells. We just don't have any, like, again, if we play like a deck that we played last round, we just get hammered. So I'm just gonna mulligan. They mulliganed. Now we're not down a card, and I feel like that hand was quite flawed. So this is better. Let's keep, and I think we can afford to put back 1 land here. Yeah. Okay. Forest. Welcome to Dimension X. Wherever the heck that is. Rats, whatever. Alright, let's play Kitty Meow. And we'll pass. Okay. My posture is so bad. I'm just looking over here. Alright, so no need to attack. We don't have another color to play, so we could play Mouse or Foundry or hold up Manhole for whatever they... I think I'm fine with that. Because Mouse or Foundry at this point doesn't really change the board. And also, you'll notice that opponents will... Well, that would be a reason to play. I was going to say that people will kind of try to play around the 3 damage. Like, they don't want to play stuff into that once they know you have it. Now, this guy's annoying, and he's making the weirdest expression. Yeah, that's a bit of a problem. So let's play the Mountain and the Foundry, and we might try to engineer like a double block, or, you know, like block, finish it off with the Manhole. Okay. Because that guy is super annoying, quite honestly. Alright, so let's pass the blockers. We'll block here. I think the cat's a little more valuable. And hopefully they tap out so that we can kill Michelangelo, but they don't. So let's see if they can save him. And they can. Yeah, that's terrible. Alright, at least we can still chump ski. Jeez, these games are not going well. I mean, I think that my play is attack with Kitty because we're not chump blocking. Play Turtle Blimp, pass. We're gonna take like probably a ton actually. Dang, these games are not going well. We're just playing against maybe this deck is not as good as I thought it was, because I feel like we're not even playing against anything that extraordinary, and we're just kind of getting pummeled here. Yeah. Chump blocking feels bad, but I don't think that we can just take 9 here. Like, what could we draw? Tainted Treats, can't even cast right now. And it's only gonna get bigger, so we gotta find something. Yikes! Yikes, yikes, yikes. Yeah, and I think they're just going to start pouring these on. Yep. Okay, but again, we can't cast it. So, Foundry could let us do, like, deal 3 and chump something. I think I'm just going to leave that open. Because I think that spending all 5 mana is just going to be better than that. Okay, so... Yep. Here's the attack. Let's go... Foundry. Hi, OC. OC, hold on. This is my dog. She's very insistent. This is a very important sequence. Stop it. I think that we are kind of getting soloed by Michelangelo. They haven't played lands, so they do have action in hand, so I feel like what we need is a way to play Tainted Treats, and we'll just need to hold out until we get it. I was thinking of maybe like dealing 3, firing up the blimp, blocking, but I feel like they have something to beat that. You know what? I'm gonna hope that this works. Yeah, they do have a stop. But I don't know. I mean, we can still chump block, and it's like I feel like we are just getting soloed by Michelangelo, and at this point we just have to call it. Yeah. Okay. So we can still chump. That's not good at all. All right. Now I think it's time we sack. Draw. Come on. If we can only get this stupid Michelangelo off the board, we might actually survive. So how much we're looking at? Probably like 3, 7, 8 damage. Yeah. All right. So we've got about like maybe 1 draw step to find something. Yeah. Sure. I was thinking of sacking this token too, but yeah, and they're just shoving. I think that we have to conserve our life total at least a little bit. Okay. What if we go here, here, essentially take nothing, then next turn, if they don't have removal, we survive 1 more turn. So, because we're gaining 3. Is that good? Probably not. I think that we need to... Yeah. I think it was a mistake to leave up this 2, because now I kind of feel obligated to use it. Alright, let's do that. And I mean, maybe that's not a good reason to actually use it, but I certainly feel obligated. Wow! Alright, we are getting housed by Michelangelo, Mutant BFF. Okay. Come on, deck! Oh, you jerk. Alright. We might go 0-3 in my first draft video. How embarrassing. Okay. Okay, game 3. OC is here. I don't know if you can see her. Maybe that was our problem, is that we didn't have our dog pal. Alright, this is an awesome hand. Come on. Gotta win 1. We can't get shut out. Like, this gets our pizza. This fixes for our pizza. That rock whatever jerk was such a such a gut punch in that last game. That was game 2, right? The stupid 4-3. No, I guess that was game 1. All right, I'm already delirious. So yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty safe to attack. I can't think of what. There's no counter spell, so yeah. They just said no turn 2 play. Slithering Cryptid, make a mutagen, whatever. Okay, now I feel like we're kind of cooking. We could kill that, although, I don't really feel like we need to. We could do this and see if we hit something good, because even playing a land off the top isn't bad. But that's not the best use of our mana, I think. I think that I would rather, yeah, let's do pizza. So now we need blue and white. We have black, right? Yep. So I'm just checking to see if we had a... Oh, white gets the Kitsune, like, I don't know, in case they blow up. Or Kunoichi, whatever the heck it is. In case they blow up our Weather Maker. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are 2 turns away from playing... From cracking this pizza. And it's like, we could have spicy oatmealed this cryptid, but I would almost, you know, maybe they put a counter on the cryptid first, like they seem to be doing now. And then we get a little more value. Maybe they, you know, play something that we'd rather kill. I just feel like we're at 21 and that's not like a super scary threat. Okay. They their plays have been turn 1 nothing, turn 2 nothing, turn 3 this, turn 4 draw 2 cards. Like, all right. I think we're getting a little lucky playing against what perhaps did not totally come together, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's see what we hit off these party dudes. Ooh, that is a mutant. Okay. So let's play Forest counter, Mutant. Lovely. And now I think we can flunge. Because the kitty can block. And even if they kill it, again, we're just taking 3. So they did find... They missed a land drop last turn, right? So they did find a land. But now we can start throwing lightning bolts around. We can start dumping counters with the pizza. There's a lot we can do. So this is what I like to see. This is what this deck was trying to do. You know, sure, you can kill my cat if you want with some sort of trick. It's not that big a deal. Ray Fillet. Hello, Ray. Hello, Raymond. Oh, they're gonna go there. Interesting. So, okay, so we've got a land on top. We've got 6 in play. So if we want to everything pizza, we can't play Dimension X. But I think that... Yeah, I think that our best play is... Let's go... Land, pizza. I would like to gain 3 life. I would like to deal 3 of that. And we'll dump the counters on... I'm going to put them on Mikey and Don just because they have the word 2. I mean, you can kill them, and I'm sure you would like to. But, hello, OC. You're going to have to spend your whole turn doing it, I would imagine. Like, if they have the Return to the Sewers, like, you need another land. And now they're in the tank about... Oh, they did have another land. Weird. Alright, so 6, 7, 8. That puts you on a turn two-turn clock. So this is 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 and 4 is 15. So let's attack for 16. And isn't that lethal next turn? Yeah, we don't even have to attack. I mean, let's see what they have, but Jite? Come on. I can't get shut out. I can't. I won't allow it, as George Hardy would say. Yeah, I mean, we don't want anything to sneak. I don't know what could. Like some mythic? I don't know. I see no reason not to block. Yeah, okay. Sweet! Alright, so let's steal 3. Let's steal 4. The old burn plan resolves. Alright. 1 game 3. Ah! My sound's on. Okay, we're back for game 4. Okay. Froggy. Can't play that nobody. Well, we can with the Froggy, actually. So, that hand is decent. You know, hopefully don't kill our Frog Butler. Now we can play the nobody. So if we drew like Mouse or Foundry, I think I might play that instead. Let's see. Zoo Escape is not a very good card, so let's just play Frog Butler. Obviously not going to trade. Nope. Oh, they are black, so they could sneak. I mean, that's still not a reason to block, I don't think. Okay. So we could find another color and leave up Manhole. Probably taking 3, but I don't really want to play nobody for no value. Right? I would rather get some value. All right, so we need either black or white. And white would give us the Turncoat, black would give us Tainted Treats. You know, we have an equal likelihood of drawing either. So I guess technically don't we have a black? Oh, we have one of each. All right, so let's just go black. I was gonna say I thought that maybe we had an extra source off the tap lands, but we even have one of each color for those tap lands, so even that would not really matter. The minutia of drafting. Okay, this I do not like. Alright, let's see where they put the counter. I think I'll let, like, because if they aim for Michelangelo himself, this character is just roughhousing me right now. Alright, well now I will kill it so they don't get a bonus counter. And then we can put back probably a mountain. Okay, and just get a forest. Lovely. Alright, do we need to block? I think the answer is still no. Next turn we can play Turtle Blimp. And we're flooding out a little. I don't like to see that. Okay. Here's the Blimp. Hopefully nothing bad happens. Nice thing about vehicles is that if they have a removal spell right now, we should get a chance to block kinda no matter what. I guess if it's instant speed and could kill either, that's not totally true. So maybe it's like Tainted Treats. But as it stands, we've got good blocks. Oh no. Well, that's horrible. Alright. I mean, Frog Butler needs to live. Or else we're really in rough shape. So I could play nobody to bring back Turtle Blimp. But we might just want to leave it around in case they can get rid of the Butler. So I think I'm just gonna. I think the play is just flood the board with stats, right? Because this Leatherhead, we cannot interact with it. Don't need another land, thank you. We can't point removal at it, so we're gonna have to block. And if we have enough stats, you know, we might get 2 for 1. But yeah, all right. So they're attacking. I think I'm gonna start here, because if they have like Saved by the Shell, I do take a lot, but at least I don't get like multipled for 1. So let's see what they have. Oh, just Stomped by the Foot. Yeah, I mean, that's still pretty bad, because now they can like exile our Turtle Blimp if they want. Let's see if they do. Yeah, they will. Okay. Okay. So unless they have another trick, this is okay. But the fact that they're not playing a land makes me think that they do have some sort of action here. Then again, would you just attack all? Maybe? Okay. That's good to see. I guess I could have sacked the 2/2 token. Oh no. Okay. Now then we're gonna fight. Leatherhead is fighting probably Mikey and Don, yeah. Okay, so we can kill that stupid gator next to him. Okay, they're really selling out here. Come on. Are they gonna attack? Probably not. I mean, I could just trade. Yeah, okay. So, thank goodness gracious, we can end this mean guy's reign of terror. And then I think we will sack the food to draw a card. So the nunchucks are kind of an issue, because they can make the cat a 3/5. But so be it. All right, let's see, because we could, you know, if we're like, I was gonna say, where the heck is the 7-drop? That dumb card is in the deck, as far as I can tell, and just hasn't surfaced. Again, we could sack the 2/2. Ragamuffin. Oh my word. All right. I don't think we're winning this game. Ugh. I mean, we drew a lot of lands here. We drew a lot of lands here. All right, come on. It's another land. Ah! Okay, now I think that, I don't know. I think we need something. Come on, deck. Come on! Okay. So, let's do this. And we could sack the 1/1. I might just do that, because they can have trample basically at will with this. So it's like a chump blocker doesn't even really do all that much anyway. So I think I am going to play this. And sack the token, but I'm trying to think, is there anything that we could... I think I would rather leave up green, because then we can play basically anything. All right, come on, show me. That's not it. Okay, let's gain 1. Yeah, I guess we could have played an untapped land, because then the cat we can at least sack for 3. Yeah, now I think we just lose. All our damage is 3. You know, Comes in threes. So let's block. I mean, if we block like this, those are trades. They get a free mutagen. That doesn't seem good. So if we block like this, we go to 4. And they've got a bunch of tramplers. What could we draw? Not much. I'm just going to do that. Go to 4! There's pizza. I think it's too late. I do. Alright, let's think about this. So we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have access to 9 mana. So we could play pizza, crack pizza, go to 7, kill their zoo escapees, dump the counters on nobody, trade, and then we'd still take... we'd be alive. I guess the question is, do we do that now or let them draw? I think the answer is we just do it now. And also, do we want to put the counters on the cat or nobody? It's a 6/5 or a 4/6. Interesting. All right, I'm gonna go this. Usually you would want to play the land you searched for, but it doesn't really matter. Like, look at this. We only have 5 lands left in the deck. Okay. And let's think. All right. I think I am going to put the counters on nobody because that gives us, like, effectively 1 extra. Oh, but you know what? Maybe we do it during their upkeep because doing it this way... Let me think about this. Yeah, because if we kill this now, then they get to dump the mutagen somewhere. All right. I'm actually going to wait because we want them to go to combat so that they can't use the counter this combat, and we just have to hope that they don't have anything good in hand, but it looks like they have. Are you serious? Oh my god. All right, so we kind of got screwed by waiting there. Wow. Well, you lose some, and sometimes you get devoured by a shark and flood out and find your pizza way too late. That was ugly. But hey, thanks for watching. Kyle Massa, Wildcard MTG, affiliate link in Mana Pool. For Mana Pool in the description. Right for EDH rec, blah, blah, blah. I'm just kind of bummed right now. All right, 1-3, we got destroyed. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.